Hey everybody, John here. This is my land nav tips and tricks. We're going to talk about my secret tools. Okay, first off, when I get a map, a paper map, a physical map, the first thing I do is I laminate it. Okay, that way, when I laminate it, I'm old school. We used to do this in the Army 30 years ago. We had what are called China markers. This one is a black template marking pencil. I got it at Joann Fabrics for $1.50. This is a set of white and black China markers. They're the old school kind where you can pull back on the string and unwrap it. Either way, these are like a crayon basically. And what you can do is once you've laminated your map with clear contact paper, you then can mark on your map your waypoints, degrees of declination, your route, all that sort of stuff. Now here's a secret. This is like crayon, this black stuff, okay, the China marker. What I do is I cover it with a piece of packing tape that I can then peel off, okay? The reason is because if you're carrying this map around in your pack for any length of period of time, that crayon-like marker is going to rub off, okay? And hopefully you've got your route written down somewhere else. But what's going to happen is this area is going to get pretty funky until you can hit it with some sort of cleaner or something. So you don't want to be out on the trail and have this area turn into a big smudge if this is where you're going to be operating. Okay, so there's that. Next thing I carry, in the Army, we used 1 to 50,000 maps, and we're taught how to find our location with a protractor. They do make a 1 to 24,000 protractor, okay? So to me, this is like as important as my left arm because this allows me to, hey, I'm at a intersection of a stream and a road or wherever. You know, I've reverse triangulated to find my position again with a protractor. This allows me to determine the exact coordinates for that location. Then I can radio back to my my anchor point. Hey, I need help here, or hey, I'm on time with the legs of my trek here, or blah blah blah, whatever. But a protractor is ideal. The other thing is a lot of videos talking about putting their maps down on the ground and then using their compass to orient their map, and then saying basically like, okay, I want to go that way. And I think they call it dead reckoning. That's also, I guess, what you call it when you center hold your compass and go that way. But long story short, where I was yesterday, it was like this. Okay, you're not putting your compass down, and you're not putting your map down to orient, which means that determining your route, if you have to change it mid-project, is going to be a lot harder if you are relying on putting your map down. This allows you to stand there and do it, you know, on the back of your pack, what have you. Carry a protractor. This one is made by maptools.com. I love it. $9. Okay, so there's that. What's the next thing I carry? I don't actually carry this giant POS because this, all I need is this area on this map. So what you can do, if you've got a little bit of a brainstem, you can download that PDF from the USGS for free, okay? And then you can print it. Now, my advice is that you don't print it by saying, when you go into the printer properties, don't select scale. Have it print at 100%. That's what basically doesn't change the parameters of, long story short, you would get a 22 by 27 size document if you had that size printer. But what you can do is you can print on an A size sheet. That's 8.5 by 11. You can print your area by shrinking in the margins on that larger document. You know how printer setup and printer properties will allow you to say, okay, dock it this way and that way. You can move that window down, that little 8.5 window, on your full size sheet because, like I said, I only needed that. Why manhandle that? That's crap. Okay, so print it out on an A-size sheet, laminate that up with contact paper, and before you do, put your declination information on the back. What I should have done in hindsight was I should have printed the map here and then cut and pasted the declination diagram and the scale and put that on the back and printed that back here. But what I did is I wound up drawing it in. I wasn't too worried about the scale as far as distance goes on this project, but I will do that on the next one. What else do I have? One last thing, last but not least, a hard copy. Little pocket notebook. I would have liked that one that flips up, but this thing was $1 at Walmart. The flip up thing for some reason is like $2.70. So I went with this thing. It's a little bigger than I would have liked, but so be it. In this, a couple of nights before my project, I went and wrote down the coordinates and distances from my start point to my first waypoint, the bearings, the reverse bearings, the grid azimuths, the magnetic azimuths, all this stuff that you don't want to be burning time out on the trail figuring out dynamically unless you have to change your project. But if you got everything laid out a couple of nights beforehand, why not just write it down? Okay? Again, you could write it down here and write it down on the back. That way you can lose this and not be screwed because you still have this. So, that's about all I got for tips and tricks. Check back and we'll discuss declination or something. Maybe how to find a map, choose a map. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. John out.